Hello friends, welcome to Hudson County TV. I'm Fernando Uribe with a special edition of the Uribe Society. Speaking today with Weehawken resident Joseph Aziz. We had an insightful sit-down about an incident occurring recently between him and Montclair State University involving possible expulsion and at the same time repression of the First Amendment.
If you just give us a quick synopsis exactly of what was the cause of the turmoil with you and Montclair State University.
Okay, well first I just want to thank you for having me. Well, it all started at a rally where Mr. Lonigan was invited to speak at on behalf of our group, Young Americans for Liberty, on campus. And he was heckled by two members of the Students for Democratic Society. Eventually they were dragged out. And the next day, one of the hecklers had posted a video entitled, "Steve Lonigan is a Racist." Since our group had endorsed this speaker, I, in very quick judgment, made a comment on the woman's page saying that her legs resembled a pair of bleached hams. She then complained to the school that this comment was detrimental to her ability to learn, etc. The school decided to impose a gag order on me, which was essentially a restraining order, but it went beyond that. I was not allowed to even speak about this in areas that I would presume to be private. So I said fine, I had no contact with this woman. And what happened was I had a private chat group on Facebook, and I discussed the case very facetiously. I referred to the school's gag order as a tyrannical hamlock, and I mentioned the girl's name in one reference, but she was not a member of this group. I had no intent of harming her or her even finding out about this. Apparently, one of the members of the group printed out these posts, submitted them to the university. They then decided to proceed with an administrative hearing that could lead to my expulsion. Ultimately, the school decided that a suspension would be sufficient for 6 months. I tried to fight this. I told them that the First Amendment applies, that the school has no right to tell me what I can do in private. The school, by its own admission, acknowledged that this did not this did not involve bullying. It did not involve any harassment. They were merely suspending me for speaking about this case.
Overall, he discussed details about the event and possibly what contributed to this ongoing controversy. Despite any sort of media backlash, Montclair State University was forced to act and ultimately make sure that Joseph Aziz was not suspended as once ordered.
The end result is my suspension was overturned. I made a huge precedent, probably across the nation, for these codes of conduct that are completely in disregard of the Constitution and even state laws. So, you know what? In a sense, I feel very empowered.
What is it exactly about academia that seems to breed liberalism as heavily as it does? I mean, as we all know, and this is no secret, it's so pervasive in our college campuses and universities across the country, but now it's been filtering down to our high schools, our middle schools, even elementary schools. What is it about liberalism that so many educators now are trying to just, for lack of a better word, indoctrinate students to at any age?
Well, it started with the professors, like you said, in colleges, who are holed up in their ivory towers. These are pure academics. These are not real-world people. These aren't people that have to deal outside of the college walls. And they educated other educators who are constantly trying to treat students as lab rats and try all these new experiments that have no real basis to them scientifically, but they feel like they should do it, or it should work, because academically it should work, just like communism works on paper, but not when applied. And it's very confusing, as that's the million-dollar question, as to why they haven't learned their lesson.
Well, it's about trying to express themselves on a college campus, regardless of political affiliation. But as we all know, liberalism seems to be so pervasive on our college campuses and universities, not just in New Jersey, but nationwide. That trend seems to be filtering down to our high schools, our middle schools, and even our elementary schools. It's a lesson that Mr. Aziz is trying to invoke here and make sure that other students don't face the same backlash that he did. We're hoping, for not just his sake, but for other students in the future, it's something that they can learn from and at the same time empower themselves in the arena of political dialogue and in the arena of public opinion. Thank you so much for watching. For more programming, please go to HudsonCountyTV.com. Thank you so much for supporting Hudson County TV. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And as always, stay classy, everyone.